So we have a uh, second speaker, Rama Bedarkar. She'll be speaking on roadmap for adopting mindset of agility.
So, good morning, everybody. Let me first thanks ANI for giving me an opportunity to speak here during the difficult times of coronavirus. And I would definitely like to appreciate the positive mindset of ANI in conducting this webinar session when we all are locked at home and still we are continuing with these activities. So a lot of appreciation and applaud for Priyank and all the team members. Okay, yeah. So let me first introduce myself. I'm Rama Bedarkar with two master's degrees and 27 years of experience in the software IT core industry. Uh, for the last 6 years, I have been working as a Scrum practitioner, trainer, coach, and a mentor. Basically, helping the product and services companies, software development teams to work with them for deploying the Scrum practices and making them effective for the business gains. Being very passionate about Scrum, I have recently published, my book is recently published in the month of January about Agile Scrum, improving practices for the business gains. I have shared my experience of working as a consultant in the case studies, and I'm here now, trying to share some of my experiences with respect to adopting mindset of agility. So my agenda today is I'm going to talk about mindset of agility at the individual level. We have talked about teams, we have talked about organization, but do we ever look inside? And looking inside is sometimes the most basic critical thing than looking outside because that helps us to grow. Somebody said in the yesterday's session that you should have not a fixed mindset but a growing mindset. But this growing is not just technical growing and growing in your experience, it's growing within. And that is why I would like to, focus more on an individual's mindset of agility. I'm going to talk about the traits, the anti-patterns. I'm going to just elaborate few business advantages when we as individuals have agile mindset. And then I'm going to share a very brief small case study in one of my assignments where I dared to, set a roadmap for driving the change in the mindset within the teams. And I'm going to share this with some information that how the roadmap was actually planned by me. Some of the success stories of this particular case I would like to share, and then the challenges. Now, everybody has been talking about the mindset of agility. A simple definition is an attitude. Attitude needed to support agile work environment. And what is agile work environment? We need to be flexible. We need to be excellent in operations. We need to reduce our cost of operations. We need to be quick in responding. We need to be flexible and delivering value to our customer. We do all of the things, like all the practices are in place. And then, we have different tools for project management. We have different tools for collaboration management. But still, 40% of the agile transformation and Scrum deployment exercises, they fail. Now, why do they fail? It's just the mindset. It's the mindset of the team members, the individuals. That is very important. So some of the traits of this mindset I would like to talk about are number one, focus. Let's have a focus. And what that focus is, it's a team's focus, the goal, and I would like the goal to be known to each and every team member, the individual. The leadership should share the goals, reinforce them so that the whole team is on the same page. If the goals are not known to some of the team members, then the team is not on the same page. Then we have divided efforts. Combined efforts make difference. Another thing which I would like to talk about, the basic agile trait is accountability and responsibility. Now, many people, they do not know the difference between accountability and responsibility. Accountability can never be delegated. Responsibility can be delegated. If I'm owner of a particular deliverable within the sprint, I have to ensure that I drive the results. I have to ensure that whatever the impediments they come in between, if there are dependencies, if there are issues of infrastructure, understanding who is the owner of the deliverable. I am the owner of the deliverable. I am the leader of my deliverable. So I am accountable for delivering that. I may share a few things and give responsibility to my junior, but finally I am the owner and accountable. So I need to verify and ensure that I I'm done with the right results. This is very important. Then respect for all. You know, in today's VUCA world environment, the seniority, experience, exposure doesn't bring in everything on the paper. It's just the technology growing in. You cannot be master of everything. So you have to ensure that you respect all and you support together and drive together. Trust and integrity is very, very essential. You need to demonstrate that trust in your behavior, demonstrate the integrity. You should have courage. Courage to say I am stuck up, courage to say I failed, courage to say I need help. And typically, like daily scrum we meet together. And what is the main objective of this daily scrum? This daily scrum is basically to remove the impediments. If suppose I'm a junior, I'm a fresher, and I'm stuck up somewhere, I need to seek help and get help from my team members. Why should I waste time in reinventing the wheel if the experience is available in the teams? So that courage needs to be there. Transparent communication and collaboration. So this is also very important. Now, communication is one thing where we need to be transparent. Nothing can hide in the agile mindset. If we are very frankly saying that, and I have the courage to say that I have failed, then what else can I hide, in the transparency in communication? Same thing goes about collaboration. See, rarely an individual adds value. In our teams, just like just now Dr. Badri has said, like the team has to come together. So collaboration is the only solution in today's world to drive the results, because you are not expert of everything. You have experience, but not expertise every time. So collaboration is the crux. Ability to adapt to changes and fast learning and unlearning. These are very typical patterns of growing mindsets. And focus on continuous improvement. We need to improve continuously. And in today's world, there is nothing like failures. These are all learning lessons for us. So we learn from our failures. Now, some of the other traits, I'm going to call them anti-patterns. So we have this positivity in our mindset, but at the same time, we need to unlearn something. And as a human being, learning is easy. Unlearning is the most difficult thing. And for senior people like me, where we learned something different when we were young, and today the environment is totally different. So I have to unlearn a lot to ensure that I, learn something. So unlearning is crucial. Traditional management concepts, hierarchy-based communication, closed and restricted communication, empowerment based on only designations and experience, overuse of power of coercion, and absence of transparency and collaboration. Treating failures with negativity. These are some of the anti-patterns. I think we should get over this and come over with these anti-patterns. And then what remains is a pure mindset of agility. Now, there are definitely business advantages at the individual level, at the team level, at the organization level, at the business level, and even at the customer level. I would like to just brief a few things. Agility brings in business gains naturally. Transparent, agile work environment is created. We reduce the time to market and operational cost. We optimize the productivity. Failures are early, cheaper, and mostly reversible. And we create a safe to fail environment. Now people are ready to take calculated risks because they know failure is not being treated negatively. Teams are empowered. feeling of belongingness towards the organization is demonstrated. And employee happiness index always improves. Employee turnover and attrition reduces. And we prepare our organization for this VUCA business world. Now, meeting competition is the principal business advantage at the top level. From customers' perspective, customers become your partners because we are open, transparent, there is high integrity, better collaboration with customers, and a mindset where customer is your partner in your business win-win activity. Now, customer relation becomes more collaborative, and it's possible to take business challenges together in this VUCA world. Like we are sailing in the same boat. We and our customers are sailing in the same boat. Why not work together as partners for win-win? And that is the long-term goal. At the individual, if you make changes in your own individual personal attributes, you are driving something at the top level, at the organization level. It's just a very small contribution, but multiple small contributions to go together makes the strength. That is how we have to strive in VUCA world. And this helps in developing robust customer relationship for future business growth. So these are some business advantages. Now, when we talk about individual level traits and individual improvement with growing mindset, it's so difficult, right? Because it is all soft skills driven. Can we set a roadmap? Can we have a plan for adopting this mindset? Can we have the current status of the values of this mindset within our teams, within our leadership? And can we set some expected targets? Do we have a roadmap with some milestones? Do we have a time frame based roadmap, the way we actually create for multiple different product releases? Everything is actually linked to soft skills, and that is why it is very difficult to measure. We have tried to measure using radar map the Scrum values like focus, commitment, respect, courage, and openness. They are measured on a scale of 1 to 5. But do that throw light on the actual behavior? Is this data, the measurements, giving us the right insights so that we can take decisions from those insights and then drive our roadmap? No, I'm sorry. We do not get the right inputs. So, setting the roadmap is a big challenge. But I think I dared to chalk out a roadmap for an assignment. It was a very small assignment, a small team, and I think most of the forward-thinking agile evangelists would definitely do that, and I tried to do that. And finally, there were some success stories. So basically, the roadmap was chalked out for changing the mindset or adopting the mindset of agility. And the action plan was basically, to make changes in the team's thinking and working in operations. Some of the important things which we followed: continuous assertion and consistency in deployment. Then this particular exercise cannot go just top down or bottoms up. It has to be both ways. When it is top to down, then the leadership leads by example. The leadership demonstrates the agile behavior in their decision making, in working with the teams, in demonstrating their integrity, in demonstrating their transparency and leadership. So this is the way the top down helps us, and bottoms up also helps us. Because at the tactical level and operational level, when the project managers, the leads, the team members, they work as leaders at the operational level, there is a better buying in from the peers. They can be informal counselors for making changes in the mindset at the operation levels within the teams. Okay, they can also collaborate better way. They can have, you know, all these values which we talk about in the mindset, the traits, demonstrate themselves, expect them, and then, drive the mindset agility. So both ways and both approaches are important. Again, no time frame, no target value sets. So basically, this was a roadmap. It was a continuous journey with some destination which we were thinking about based on, the changes in the mindset, but I would not call that as a destination. So continuous journey without destination. So my roadmap consisted of, values. So all the agile values, typically like focus, commitment, respect, courage, openness. You all now know all the traits. Good values drive good behavior. So our first milestone is ensure that everybody is same in the behavior. Then second thing, deploy the practices, the agile practices. Now the ceremonies and practices when they are deployed, all these ceremonies, I just would like to say that each ceremony has its own objectives, and business gains are seen when these ceremonies are deployed. So these practices are built in so beautifully that if you really follow them, you will ensure the business gains. So the practices deployment and consistency of these practices deployment with some activity pattern. Now I'm going to talk about what are these activity patterns in my subsequent slides. They help to make the teams more organized. Now teams with right values, right behavior, right practices, with right understanding of the ceremonies deployment, with right activity pattern makes the team organized. What do we want more? If the team is organized, you will see the results definitely. So this is one of the diagram which I have selected from my book, talks about the reference given here. A roadmap for driving agility. So let me just give a few insights about this roadmap. So values based behavior operation was targeted. Now what values based behavior means for an individual. An individual is a leader of his or her own deliverable. He has to handle his deliverable, dependencies, impediments. He has to inculcate the attitude for growth. And practical operational behavior guidelines were set by me for communication, for setting the right collaboration, and for empowering yourself, across the teams. You may be a project manager or you may be a fresher, but then empowering yourself for your own deliverable is imperative. Then setting the expectations by the leaders, you know setting expectations from the leaders basically, because this is, I said, it's a top down approach. We cannot have just bottoms up where teams struggle at the tactical and operational level. So we have to set these values at the leadership level, and set some guidelines for getting the leadership support on time was planned. So values based behavioral focus was generating business value for customers. So we started with this values inculcation, and then we started with the right behavior. The third step comes as the pattern of activities. You know, uh, consistent deployment of these agile practices definitely help us in understanding the empirical way in which we can improve. What is empirical? Improve by deployment. You learn from your deployment experiences. And this is very much related to a Japanese martial art, shuhari. Yesterday somebody talked about this. Now, shuhari is a concept of learning martial art where in initial stage you learn the rules of the game, you practice them consistently. Now you know your own strengths and weaknesses. So you tweak those rules to make your team successful in achieving the business gains. And finally the re-stage where you make your own rules. So I'm talking about this re-stage where I set the pattern of activities based on the compatibility of the teams. Now when you talk about teams compatibility, what we actually evaluate. First thing, the experience level of the team. Second thing, their technical know-how. Third thing, the team's strengths and weaknesses. Fourth thing, about the team's individual members' mindsets. You get a mix of people. There are some positive people, there are some negative people, there are some troublemakers. You know, you can make a troublemaker with a positive person as a team together for one particular activity. You know, if you are staying with intelligent people, you learn a lot from them. Same way, if you are staying with positive people, the troublemakers learn a lot from them. And slowly, this pairing of the people based on the team's strengths and weaknesses and team's soft skills based ability help in driving the sprint execution, where this pattern of activity was for actually scheduling the different sprint activities, calendar based weekly activities throughout the sprint duration. And I gave some of the ownership to some of these activities within the team, by pairing the people together. And I'll give you an example. Like, refining of product backlog must be done before the grooming goes on. So the leadership team works with the product owner for refining the product backlog. And refining is breaking up the epics into different features and features into user stories and so on. And then we moved ahead in doing the grooming. So two people were responsible for ensuring that we prepare in the current sprint for the next forthcoming sprint by at least 10 to 15% of efforts and your capacity utilization in focusing these activities. So ownership is given for such activities to the teams by doing the right pairing of the people based on the mindset. And then we ensure that the team gets structured to become more organized. So now, values drove right behavior. With deployment of practices and ownership within the teams, we got the team more structured. It helped in spreading the positivity and the agile mindset within the teams, and then the team became more structured. And once the team becomes more structured, it is organized. And then, they don't need consultant like Rama to drive the results. The results automatically come into place. And
Sorry
in
to
all
interrupt
this,
you. Sorry to interrupt you, Ramaji. We are running out of time, so we just have close to another 7 minutes to take up. It's
sure,
including Q&A session. So,
sure.
is it possible if we can speed up? Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
sure. So customization of patterns is the crux of this particular roadmap. Okay. Now, basically, thing is some important tips. Continuous assertion on mindset behavior without losing an eye on deliverables and business, and customer delight is most important. So during all these activities, you cannot overlook the customer delight. You cannot miss your deliverables and you cannot miss your business value. So these are the important tips. So once the team is organized, it drives the results. The results followed after 6 sprints. They were small success stories. The pace was slow because the time frame was not given. But some success stories were, they were intangible benefits demonstrated. Small changes in the work culture, this can be treated as beginning of the cultural change in the organization for betterment. Some unlearning traditional management concept helped the middle management and the leadership and help the organization to prepare for the VUCA world. Some success stories, like some members, they evolved to grow professionally in agility. Some potential leaders were identified by this exercise for future. Some team-based, sincere, dedicated people, they opened up in communication and worked together. They never, they imbibed the better communication skills, and they were always silent listeners, but they opened up. They got the courage to talk and lead small tasks. Team was ready to take risks and no more scared of failures. Cohesivity in the team was the basic thing, and positive and better energy in the team was demonstrated. Human interactions based issues are there. You have the challenges. There are definitely, we are going to face a lot of challenges because we are dealing with the soft skills where we do not know what will be the interpretation by the person with whom you are interacting. So Human interaction is the biggest challenge. Transparency is the biggest impediment. We cannot control how people think and interpret. Perceptions based negative mindsets were damaging, but then we had to fix them ongoing, continuously. Sometimes the leadership also demonstrates some negativity, and then the disrespect for the leadership is also seen in such things, and then the people lose faith in this roadmap. But this should not happen. Yeah, but these are some challenges, and these can be taken care of, definitely. Now, what are the solutions? Reinforcement, reinforcement, and reinforcement. This is the only solution. We never give up. We should not give up. I believe in changes in the human mind by continuous reinforcement, and that happens. Basically, I have to give some reference. In one of the book, Frederick Laloux, he has written in Reinventing the Organization, the book, where a person, the organization's environment started changing and growing. And Laloux talks about, the wholeness practices at the end. He says in Reinventing the Organization, the book, that a person brings in integrated self to the organization, not just intellectually, experientially, but also spiritually. So if you are in as a person spiritually also, then you are done. And that is the way you see the results. So roadmap deployment for changing the mindset never fails. This is the journey of 1,000 miles, and this is the first step.
So we have a question from Rajesh Batala. What are the challenges tools used to improve the team agility in each stage? Values, behavior, practices?
Yeah, I think this is a very good question, but I'm not sure whether I'll be able to explain this in the given short time. But yeah, I would definitely like to talk about the challenges at the values level. This is the biggest roadblock, because focus, commitment, respect, courage, all these are the soft skills based values. And as I said, the first challenge is there are people with different mindsets. We have to, ensure that these people are grouped together in such a way that the values demonstrated by the person who has them help the other person. Okay. Now, at the behavior level, you see unexpected behavior by many negative people. But then you have to address this challenge by one-on-one meeting with the people. Take the person to coffee and then have a coffee and then tell him what are the disadvantages which he is going to see in his own career because of his behavior. And that definitely helps. At the practices level, yes, people do not understand the objectives of these basic practices. Understanding the basic objective is very important. And then activity pattern definition, here you need to be empirical. Sometimes you define this activity pattern, but you need to refine them, and you need to be really agile in actually making the changes in your activity pattern for the sprint deployment and sprint execution. So these are, and making team organized and results. These, I think, the challenges are related to typically, the software development issues.
Yes, I think it has all, as you rightly said, it's an empirical process. So it has to be refined then and there. So that we attain, and we have to revisit each phase regularly so that we can attain and reach the ultimate results. Thank you.
Absolutely right, Rajesh. Yes, I agree. And sometimes it's not possible that whatever the solution you deploy in organization A, the same solution will work in organization B and in organization C with the different teams. So you really need to be empirical, and it's all team based.
Thank you, Rama, for your insightful session, and I hope the participants have got the great learning from this.